Don't be surprised. Of course, we are talking English. English, one of the most spreaded languages worldwide, so that isn't a surprise at all. And we are honored to have a special guest today. Just technical checkup. The inventor, I think that's the right word. The inventor of and founder of OrangeKlik and of the European Seller Conferences, and the host of a lot of cool seller bar camps in Portugal. Lisbon, I think, was the last one, when I'm right. And it's Augustas Kligis from OrangeKlik. Thank you for having you here in our channel. What's the topic of today?
Yeah, thank you, Christian, for inviting me here. It's amazing always to talk about events. I consider myself as not an Amazon expert, but maybe Amazon event expert. Like if somebody sometimes is asking me about events, which to attend in US or in Europe, I have quite good overview what's happening and how successful are these events, in my opinion, and maybe depending on your level of Amazon business, I can maybe recommend where to go. And we don't need to talk only about events we are organizing. I'm like, don't want to be biased. I'm open, to recommend other events as well.
But what was the cool idea? Of course, from my point of view, as I understand it, there are specific events like we all know the Sellerfest UK, so only United Kingdom. We have that typical German conferences like Amazon Sales Congress, sometimes Switzerland and Austria. But from my point of view, you have found a specific way of connecting all European sellers. It doesn't matter if they are coming from east of Europe or Lithuania or the Czech Republic or Spain, Italy, German. It doesn't matter. But you have built it up such an awful connection to them. How does that started and what was the idea?
Okay, so I jumped into Amazon industry 7.5 years ago with the first virtual summit in German online Congress. And I was the first to offer this kind of virtual summit learning format.
I was speaker there.
I think you were later in 2016. I had like Jill Lang from Germany. I had Timo Bock. And and then a lot of people in the industry, international people, they saw this type of learning format, and they liked it. They wanted to be on my next show, and already after 1.5 years, I felt I'm going towards the in-person event, and I knew it will be in Prague. I don't know why, but Prague is probably, at that time I lived near Dresden, so it was like just 2 hours from Prague. Maybe I felt the energy of Prague, and also Prague is perfect for for flying for European sellers. It's central. Everybody has like low-cost flights, so it's easy to drive for Germans. And
train.
Yes. And in 2019, I started to do in-person events, and European Seller Conference in Prague was the first one. And before that event, which I organized, and we got 170 people, international ones, I was just in one event. It was Amazon Private Label Days by Jill Lang in 2017 or something.
In the stadium in Hamburg.
Yes, I think I was in Hamburg. Yes, and it was the only experience of participating in basically in business conference, and people were very happy what I did. And then I started to create these physical events, but then of course COVID stopped us, and then we focused more on virtual events. By today, we have created 10 virtual online congress, virtual summits, and 10 or 11 physical events. But the one which I think you are referring to, the event in Prague called European Seller Conferences, the main project by OrangeKlik, and we are putting a lot of energy. We are very picky at selecting speakers. Like yourself, you will be speaking at our upcoming event, but last time we invited you as a panelist. In some way, in the background, it was like a test. Let's invite Christian. Let's see how he does on the stage. for international audience, and we loved your feedback and your participation, and we decided to invite you. So we are very this is the most important kind of project for us, and we want this event to become important for European sellers especially. And I think this is what is missing in Europe, this kind of uniting event where international sellers can meet in Europe.
Absolutely. From my point of view, the last discussion panel was like a mic drop moment. I think Chris Wallen said it. Okay, don't answer any question anymore. That was too bad. As I said, stop your advertising if your product is not working well. That was awesome. Also to see the connections. I think 20 or 30 German-based sellers, but over 120, 150 European-based sellers. So you're really building up a quite good connection, and the idea of only English speaking presentations is also a thing you're not finding in Germany when it comes to normal events. So the stationary conferences sometimes are only in German and only a few speakers in English. And what I have seen from my point of view, that was awesome. I've seen speakers I only know from social media or LinkedIn. My favorite, Chris Wallings. That is an absolutely awesome person from his personality, but also from the insights from Sophie Society. So I have never seen it on any conference course to the system of the language. So in Germany, you speak German or you're not. On the speaker side, so you have built it up a quite good connection to people you only know from LinkedIn, social media, English speaking. My favorite presentation was last year, Guy Harris. That was awesome about brand store and building it. And so from my point of view, why you should attend events like that is, on one side, take that barrier of language away, just start to speak English. My first English presentation was on your online summit, on the second one, and now I'm also talking in English on a few conferences. But the more specific idea, what I have learned is, you can get connected to the speakers you only know from fancy LinkedIn stuff. And that is awesome. Of course, what you have built it up is, from my point of view, not the typical speaker selection like, we're coming, we're speaking, we're going. No, we're staying there for whole 2 days, sometimes 3 days, and you have enough time to ask your personal questions or solve your personal topics with them. And that is what I really, really like about your idea of building up conferences.
Yeah, so we basically send an welcome email to each approved speaker for our event, asking to commit 80% of their time during the conference. I understand that, sometimes they want to rest or they come late, but we always have at least one speaker who is not respecting this rule, and they come on the stage and people are searching for this person. They want to talk to him or her, and then for them, the value of our event decreases. So for us, it's important that speaker is engaged with the audience. And it's a quite unique opportunity if we talk about the Prague event, because it's the most international. When we do other events, for example, last year we did event in my home country, in Lithuania. We had not so many people, 120, but maybe 60% were local people from Lithuania. So, but Prague event, we will have, at the moment, we have already 120 registrations and still 2 months left. So we expect 170 or 200 people. And most of the time we have about 20 from US, 20 from Germany, 20 from UK, and the rest are like bits and pieces. Maybe 10 from Estonia, 10 from Romania. It's super international. And what's most surprising, we're doing for the 4th time this event in Prague, and we're still not known or popular in Czech Republic. Last time we had 6 people. This time, out of 120, we have 0 Czech people registered. So I don't know how to get
in the pre-event, in the open pre-event, there were more of them last year, for example, when the local attendees were in the pre-event. But yes, as you said, really, really interesting. But what I like most about it is on the typical scenarios on the German conferences is you know each other from the participation. You are here. You are here. But what I've seen in Prague that was really, really awesome. I know nearly nobody, and we are making millions and millions. For example, one guy was one person only and selling swimming caps in the United States. So nearly everybody was selling in the United States. And he was a one-man show and asked Stephen Pope and me how he can scale. So we were like, you want to scale 1 person, 2 million? What do you want more? That was really awesome. And also to talk about the participants, were really unique in their way of thinking. And normally in the other conference, you have that standard. Yeah, I have a big company. I'm doing that. I'm following the markets. But on the European Seller conferences, you find that specific new way of going into niches, how to find them, and you can connect with them and with their ideas without stealing it or copy their ways. But you learn a lot more. On the one side, of course, a lot of them are only selling in the United States. That was mind-blowing for myself, of course, when I can connect typical German sellers with the attendees of the European Seller Conference to show them how to go and how to move to the United States. And on the other side, your event is not just typical go on stage, speak about your topic, and then you can ask a few things. The most interesting part is there's one complete room for home office while you can see the presentations of the speakers. That is one awesome scenario.
Yeah, live streaming room. Yeah,
with the direct live streaming to the next room where everybody is sitting and checking their mails. And on the other side, what I really liked was the round tables. I think we were only 10 with one host, with one pro expert speaker for the table, and everybody was able to ask their specific questions really in that short membership round, and that was awesome. I think Chris Wallen, Stephen Pope, everybody had the opportunities. Tamar
Rabinovich,
Tamar Rabinovich. That was just awesome. And you will never get that experience in a normal online summit or so.
So I think maybe like people are listening and they don't understand what is this round tables, whatever. Maybe I will give a short overview of the structure of event in Prague. So European Seller Conference is happening every year. And this year in 2004, it's happening in March between 13-16, mid-March, in 2 months from now. And the main event, the main idea is the main conference, which is happening March 14-15, which is Thursday and Friday. Yeah. And it's like all attendees are there, and we have maybe 15 speakers this year. But to make this experience more richer, a day before, we are organizing a VIP day. So people, sellers who want to kind of connect with VIP sellers, and they are VIP sellers already, they have possibility to buy VIP ticket. Of course, you have to pay extra. But on Wednesday, on March 13, you will meet in the morning at 9 or 10 a.m. We will go for a boat trip. So it's very isolated location or like environment with only 20 people, 20-25. At the moment, we have about 20 VIPs. In the next 2 months, maybe we'll get 5 more. And we'll go on the boat, only sellers. There will be a sponsor of this VIP day also, like maybe 2 more service providers, but that's it. And then we'll have lunch. And in the afternoon, we'll have so-called VIP masterminds. And this is what Christian was talking about, where we'll have 3 experts hosting the roundtable. And you will have 3 rounds. So you will visit all 3 experts. And at the moment, they are confirmed. It's Ritu Java or Ritu Java. I don't know how to pronounce.
PPC Ninja.
Yeah, PPC Ninjas. She's going and speaking at like really elite events, and she's getting prizes for the best speaker.
High level.
Yeah. Then there will be Leos Govio. He used to. He is a seller. I don't think he's like much a service provider, but he goes to a lot of elite masterminds where sellers are paying 10, 15,000 to participate. So he's like being an expert there in those events. So he really networks and knows a lot of probably insights about how to run your business. And the third one will be, I have to check the website. I already forgot, but let me check. And during those 3 hours in the afternoon, you will be able to rotate on 3 roundtables, which are hosted by these 3 experts. The third one is Matteo, and he's just a seller. He runs Amazon Arbitrage, not a private label, but arbitrage business with a big team, and like, I don't know, making 8 figures, like, I don't know, 10 million revenue, big company. And he's really master at scaling in terms of team and like dedicating. He himself doesn't do much operations, and he just, strategic thinker of the company. And I think there is a lot to learn from him. So yeah, maybe from Ritu you can learn about PPC, but also she has a lot of other knowledge, like how to use artificial intelligence and so on. Leos Govio, I think he also has a lot of specific knowledge, which we present on the website, europeansellerconference.com. So this is the VP day, which ends with VP dinner, where all the speakers and sponsors are invited as well. So about 60, 70 people. So we already talked about 3 days, VP day and 2 main conference event days. On Saturday, after main conference, we have a workshop this year by Chris Rawlings. We rotate always the workshop leader. It will be the whole day experience, 6 hours of seminar. I think there will be 2 parts. One part will be about team building for Amazon business, and the second will be about optimizing your product listing, conversion rates, and so on. Everything is on the website. And earlier you mentioned the free meetup. Yes, we're doing a free meetup on Tuesday evening for those who are coming to Prague earlier. But actually, this meetup is more for local people who cannot afford or don't want to come to our event because it's not maybe cheap. So on Tuesday evening, we will do a 3-hour meetup. We are now literally searching for a place where we can have like 70, 80 people. And we will have this time about 3 presentations, and from short ones from speakers who are not speaking at the European Seller Conference. So we're like mixing up, and it will be like mini conference of 3 hours with maybe 3-4 sessions. And there we expect a lot of people from Czech Republic, from Prague, maybe who are beginners, but they have a possibility to connect with international people who are coming to Prague.
And I really like that idea. You're not just connecting sellers. You are able to connect sellers in every step of their journey, from the starters and beginners and the scaling ones and the really, really high rollers. And so everybody is getting the benefits from each other. The ones are learning what you have to do in the next 2-3 years, or what challenge you will face in the next years, so you can really be aware of that typical problems and how they have solved it. And so from year to year, you're learning step by step more and more. And the most interesting part, everybody's trying to build a conference with all that systems of connection, education, deep dives, and normally in parallel slots. But you're building your event exactly in the way of first get connected, then you get the educations and the networking, of course, but also on the last day, on the Saturdays, you can be part of a deep dive workshop. So it's really, really a sensible, build-it up conference. You're not finding that in the normal situations. Of course, everything is participating on 1, sometimes 2-day conferences, but you're building it up over nearly half a week. And so that's the thing I really like in that system, especially the European Seller Conference. And if you really are absolutely overkill of data, you can go out into Prague. So I've done that last year also with a friend of mine for 1 hour. We were just overloaded of all that experience. And from my point of view, nobody will understand that maybe, but why I am really proud of being part in Prague is just that there is a McDonald's where you can get different burgers and snacks instead of Germany. Sometimes nobody knows that when you're joining Spain or other countries, the McDonald's is different. But also in Prague, there are specific new things to get in contact with. It's not only about the new things and hacks and ideas. Sometimes it's just new culture, new thinking, new way of thinking. But also Prague is a wonderful city. We have to mention that of course, that is the thing. We don't want to stay in the hotel the whole day. It's just awesome there.
And you know what's good about Prague? We attract also people, those who let's say from North America, who always wanted to visit Prague. Some maybe Americans don't even know in which country there is Prague, but they know about Prague because Prague is quite well advertised as a touristic destination.
Absolutely.
And yeah, when maybe North Americans hear, oh, Prague, I have to double check. Yeah, it sounds good. And as you said, yeah, Saturday is a deep dive workshop, and you still have like Sunday. You can explore Prague if you're not, you have time to spend a bit longer, a few more days.
But from my point of view, as I am thinking, normally it's about the typical movies and the comedies and road trip comedy movies in the US. Prague is always a part of them, and so everybody knows about Prague in some movies, or when it is Liam Neeson or whoever. Prague is always a part of them, and so as you said, they know, Prague, that's in Europe. As I know it from other conferences, a few speakers are really planning their road trip through Prague with that conference spots. And so we can attend on the one side on the conferences, and on the other side they can travel through Europe from conference to conference. And so you have found an absolutely beautiful spot in Europe. And what I have figured out is one of the most benefits when we are talking about why Germans should attend on that conference. What I never understood before I was part last year was, why is none of the attendees selling in Europe or Germany? And that was absolutely mind-blowing in the way of talked about that topic. Don't start in Europe or Germany because of taxes, logistics, competition. The competition is too complicated and too educated in Europe and Germany. Directly always start in the United States. And that was a thing I've never heard in Germany. Of course, the German bubble is too close and not open-minded for that. And everybody I was talking about, yeah, of course I'm selling in the United States. And everyone like, what? And all the German guys and women and men, of course, after that conference, they were like, okay, we have to move to the United States. What are we doing here in the competition of Germany? And everybody is directly making a great high 6 or 7 figures in the United States from the beginning. We are so dumb to not see the potential of the marketplaces. And so that's absolutely a reason when you're based in Germany, go to the European Seller Conference. You will get insights about United States marketplaces, and the speakers will show you how to do. Of course, there are a few other ideas and things possible in the United States than in Germany, and you will never have thought about them.
Yeah, it's one thing you will learn. Yeah, you will listen theory or the presentations on the stage. Second step is that after each presentation, we will have Q&A session. So we dedicate 5 minutes after each speaker talks that people can ask questions additional for clarification. But the most important, I would say, is networking. And, you know, you will listen, but we will encourage that you meet other people, random people. So maybe you will forget, or these strategies are very like narrow. It doesn't fit in your business right now, which you will hear, but you will be able to exchange contacts and make new friends, international friends, which are with different mindset. I'm sure German is running Amazon business very differently from a Ukrainian guy or Lithuanian guy or even a British guy, because mindset is different. In Eastern Europe, people grew up in a different kind of environment, and maybe they are more doing legal ways around the kind of and you will learn a lot of things from them. But also when you are able to, with a speaker, maybe it can be difficult to, you know, communicate later and consult him or her. But with a regular attendee who is just like you, Amazon seller, sitting at home with flip-flops and trying to run their business, it will be easy, you know, to WhatsApp a message later after the event and say, oh, how do you do this? Like Amazon send me a message, like, what do I have to do? And like, you can consult, maybe create a group, a mastermind. And besides that, I said we will encourage networking. This year in European Seller Conference, we will do a speed networking. Maybe this is something new also for you, Christian. We will have on day one, in the end, just before the dinner and networking night. It's also important to mention that on day one, everybody will get a dinner and everybody will be invited for open bar drinks. So you can get drinks until midnight. But before dinner, we will do a speed networking where you will have, you participate in the free meetup we did in Prague, I think, where you will have 2 minutes to talk with another person and then you move to another person. And in this way, you will meet like 10, 15 random people you would maybe not approach or would not have time otherwise. So there is a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, that was really, really funny. Of course, everybody was like, "Okay, no, it's over," and then, "Oh no, let's go for a speed dating session," and everybody was like, "Okay," and but after that, everybody found it really funny, and it was an absolutely new way to get contact with each other. And when you know you, and in the next days, it wasn't like, oh, who is it? I don't know where to sit. And it's more like, hey, yeah, we have talked yesterday. Hey, cool. So you get to know each other a bit before the normal conferences and the sessions. And you are more into different problems. And that is absolutely awesome for a conference course. When you get a question, you don't always know the answer. But when you remember, hey, I've talked with her or her and him, and then you can say, hey, come here. Here's a question. I know you have an answer for it. And so you can get more and more people connected for their specific problems, questions, answers. And that is really, really awesome.
Und talking, warum Deutsche verkaufen muss diese Konferenz fahren und gehen und sehen. I'm trying my German. My wife is German, so yeah, I know a little bit German. You know, like I'm looking at the speakers. We have 15 speakers, and only 2 are from Germany. So if you're attending German conferences, events, you will meet only Christian and Roland Watt. He's also Roland. Yeah. So those people maybe you can meet in German conferences, but all others you haven't seen or maybe even don't know about. And we were very, very picky. A lot of experts wanted to be on the stage. A lot of sponsors wanted to get speaker spot together with a sponsorship, and we refused. And so, yeah, and comparing to last year, you, Christian, listened to a lot of presentations last year, and only Chris Rawlings will be the same speaker presenting. All others are brand new names. So it's
okay, that is also quite awesome. Of course, when we were talking about German conferences, as I said, the bubble is really closed, not only when it comes to the attendees, it's also about the speakers. The most thing I really hate is when we are talking about the same topic. So I know that presentation. And on the other side, what I really don't understand, as in the German school, you're normally learning English. So, but they are afraid of speaking English. So that's the thing from 5 or 4 years ago, I really understand that. Of course, yeah, you're a bit shy when you're talking first in English. But as you said, you will meet absolutely new speakers you have never seen on German stages. Of course, we are not typically German, what is called Muttersprachler,
natives,
yes. And so from that, when we are talking about the potential of getting new knowledge, European Seller Conference, new knowledge level is here. You just have to go that one step in the situation of English. It's just one thing, and if you don't understand it, just ask the other German guy. He can translate it to you when it's sitting next to you. So no things of negative situations in just being part in a European Seller Conference when it comes to English. It's just mind-opening, and as Augustas said, we're really awesome speakers all the time. And from my point of view, as for example Rita from PPC Ninjas, I've read all their LinkedIn posts since I think 3 years or so, but I've never met her personal. Yeah. And so also with Chris Wallens last year, you can ask really specific questions and they will answer them. And that is the thing. It's open-minded and not the typical, as you know, German conference. No, it's an open, welcome working space conference situation there.
Yes, perfect. So if someone is interested, it's mid of March. It's a short ride from Germany by train, by car, by bus.
Yeah, the link is directly under the video, absolutely. And as you said, when you're coming with by plane, it's much cheaper when you will think. And also by train, course, I traveling with the train. You're not working with Deutsche Bahn, course, is the Czech train. So you are absolutely at the right time in Prague, no problem about that. And it doesn't cost as much. I think I've paid 60 euro from Hamburg. So we don't have to talk about that. And the hotels are awesome in Prague.
You like the venue in Prague?
Oh, that was awesome. As it started with a handwritten card, I was like, okay, what's happening here, where I am? And so it's absolutely a must-have in the Amazon conference world, especially in Europe. You should be part of that. So let's, I think in English it's a sum up the main benefits of being part at live events, especially European Seller Conference in Prague. What we can say here.
So yeah, in general, at the events, networking is a very important part. So, you know, you can network with speakers whom you follow and see online, or you can meet really high-level sellers whom you would not meet online. You would not see them on Facebook groups, or you don't know how to connect. So this is a big takeaway. And if you go to not only our event, always set your mind that you need to bring maybe 3 or 5 really good contacts of future friends from live event. Second one is obvious, like you're learning a lot of things, and most conferences, they do have this format of speaker coming on the stage and presenting. In our case, after each presentation, we have a Q&A session. We will have expert panel sessions. I'm surprised. I was recently a few months ago in some event in Germany, conference for Amazon sellers, and I was surprised when there were no Q&A sessions after each presentation. And I thought, like, it's like watching a video, YouTube videos, you know, one presenter comes and then another presenter comes.
We have no time. The next one, the next one.
Yeah. And there was no Q&A. I was super surprised. And but this is very important part of our events. So make sure that if event has Q&As, that you take advantage of that and ask additional questions. And another reason, especially for European Seller Conference, I would say it's very unique conference in Europe, where you can have like participants from 35 or 40 countries. And I traveled almost 70 countries for the last 20 years. And I know how important it is to connect with different nationalities, different mindset people. And you will feel, I remember we did a bar camp. In Germany, you have very popular bar camps. And we did one 1.5 years ago in Lisbon, international one. And there was one German seller. He's very big. He's in his category, he's like top seller in Germany. and he lives in Portugal, and he visited, and he said, "Oh, I was in some German events before, but this is like wow, wow, wow! I could speak to Romanian, I could speak to American," and like he was like really mind blown, and he learned a lot, even though he's like already making millions from his business. And yeah, I think events, not only ours, is a shortcut, you know, to know what's going on. You cannot always follow up, you know, Amazon news or what is changing, what will change. It can be overwhelming, but inside these kind of events, when especially you're talking to other attendees, you can get like the main, you can feel what is the main approaching maybe challenge, and you have how to solve it, and you will find the answers. Yeah. Or you will find the mates, future friends with whom you will solve that together in the next, you know, weeks or months. So I would say these are like main reasons. And European Seller Conference, we really try to make it like the top one event in Europe. I would say another very good event in Europe is Seller Sessions Live by Danny Macmillan in London.
In London,
yeah, but I think theirs and ours are like one of the two events in Europe where you can get a lot of international people. And yeah, let's see. We want to grow. Actually, maybe not to grow in terms of quantity of attendees. We prefer to stay less than 200 attendees every year, but we are increasing the quality of attendees. This year, we are specifically targeting Amazon sellers, which are doing 1 to 5 million already in revenue. So if you are a beginner, maybe our conference is not really a good fit because of also it's not so cheap maybe to enter our event, and also you need to travel and fly and accommodation. But yeah, of course, if you are ready to learn from really serious sellers who have a lot of experience, you might learn a lot. But for us, it's important that this event is like really attracting 7-figure sellers who want to grow and scale.
Absolutely. From my point of view, even if you're a beginner or starter, you need a role model. You need somebody or some brand you can orientate on. Everybody's talking about anchor, and all the time, but we are in a sphere nobody can reach there. But when you find your specific role model from a different category, but you like their mindset or way of handling processes, when you have the benefit of meeting them, get in contact with them, and it's just intercultural connection, education, and deep dive networking. So that's the European Seller Conference. That's just a perfect fit for all that different ideas of how a conference could be. It is just combined in one conference, and that is absolutely awesome. So just be part of it and enjoy that just welcome atmosphere where, instead of the typical scenarios, I don't want to talk about what I am selling because I'm afraid you will copy me. Yeah. So we know that typical style of events, and nobody is happy after them. Especially, as you said, no Q&As. What? No, yeah. That's the interesting part about the presentations. So I really like the style and the idea behind the European Seller Conferences and what you are doing. And if you're interested in more, just follow the OrangeKlik YouTube channel course. With that style, where you have a lot of live sessions with all the experts, and they are giving you all that relevant information with all the speakers, not only the speakers which are attending in the Prague conference this year. I think over 700 interviews, videos, and demo Mondays. Mm-hmm. So that's an absolutely nice channel when you want to get more insights about, especially United States, intercultural, international selling, and what are the people you need to follow more, instead only of looking in the German speaking bubbles.
Yes.
So what we are doing normally when we are ending our sessions, the last word is always for the guest. So you will end the session as ever you want.
And then you click end of the video?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. So I wish everyone to success in their Amazon business by visiting events, maybe our events, by using great tools like AMALYZE. And actually, AMALYZE, I heard a lot of good feedback. Still, when AMALYZE was only in German space marketplace or among German bubble many years ago, and I was happy to see that AMALYZE finally went out to the world. So I still believe it's a good product, but we probably need more help to spread the word for international sellers as well. And yeah, if you want more great content, subscribe to AMALYZE YouTube channel, where Christian interviews more speakers, and also visit OrangeKlik YouTube channel if you want more international English-speaking content.
No, just fun. Yeah, thank you for being here. European Seller Conference, 13 to 16 March in Prague. You will find the link under the video. And so we wish you a nice day. Bye.